Okay, so have you ever spent like hours on end polishing your resume, making it perfect, writing that killer cover letter, and then dot nothing?
Yeah, I've been there.
It's like sending your application into a black hole.
Right. Like, does anyone even read these things?
Exactly. And these RoleCatcher sources I sent over, they actually call it a lottery, which honestly kind of feels accurate,
Right.
but also kind of terrifying.
Yeah, lottery is a pretty blunt way to put it, but it does capture the feeling, doesn't it?
Totally. So let's dive into this. What is RoleCatcher, and how does it claim to help us win this job search lottery?
Well, they position themselves as this, like, AI-powered ally in the job hunt.
Okay, AI, we hear that word everywhere these days. Is it just hype, or is there something really there?
It's a bit of both,
Mhm.
honestly. But in the case of recruitment, AI is definitely playing an increasingly big role. Companies are using algorithms to sift through applications, analyze resumes, even conduct preliminary interviews.
So it's not just me, those robots really are taking over.
Well, let's not get too dramatic. But it's true that automated systems are becoming more and more common in hiring.
Okay, so back to RoleCatcher. How do they actually help with, all the AI stuff?
So they offer a bunch of features, but it seems like their main thing is giving you the tools to understand how these AI systems work and then like tailor your application to beat them at their own game.
Beat them at their own game, huh? I like the sound of that.
Right. So like one of the things they do is they aggregate job listings from everywhere.
Okay, so like LinkedIn, company websites, all the usual places.
Exactly. They pull it all into one place so you're not wasting time jumping between a million tabs.
Okay, that's handy, but other platforms do that too. What makes RoleCatcher different?
It's the AI layer they put on top of it. They have this browser extension, RoleCatcher.capture, kind of catchy, right?
Sure, I'll give them that.
So not only does it pull in the job listing, but it starts analyzing it right there in your browser. It looks for those keywords and skills that companies are really after.
Wait, so it's like having a secret decoder ring for job descriptions.
Exactly. It helps you cut through the jargon and figure out what they're really looking for.
Okay, now that's kind of cool, but what then? How does that translate into, actually getting my foot in the door?
That's where the CV and resume analysis comes in.
Yeah.
Their AI doesn't just look for typos or formatting issues. It actually compares your experience and skills to the specific requirements of the job you're interested in.
So it's like reading between the lines of my resume and figuring out if I'm a good fit for the job, even if I haven't used the exact right words.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine having a personal editor who speaks fluent hiring manager. It's helping you translate your skills and experiences into a language those algorithms and the humans behind them can understand.
Okay, that's impressive, but also kind of creepy, right? I mean, how does it even work?
Well, it probably uses a combination of natural language processing and machine learning.
Okay, those are some big words. Can you break it down for those of us who don't speak robot?
Sure. So natural language processing, or NLP, basically means teaching computers to understand human language. Like not just the words themselves, but the meaning and the context.
Got it. So NLP is helping the AI understand what my resume actually says.
Exactly. And that's where the machine learning comes in. The AI has been trained on like mountains of data, resumes, job descriptions, you name it.
So it's seen it all.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And from all that data, it learns to identify patterns. Like what makes a resume stand out for a particular role, what kind of language works, what falls flat.
Okay, so it's not just matching keywords, it's actually learning and evolving based on all this data.
Exactly. Which means it can give you much more targeted feedback than, say, a generic grammar checker. It can suggest ways to rephrase things, highlight specific achievements, even recommend skills you might want to develop to be more competitive.
Wow, this AI is starting to sound less like a scary robot and more like a secret weapon for job hunting.
Right. But they don't stop there. RoleCatcher also has this whole other feature that I think is particularly interesting, especially for people who love to, really geek out on data.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What's this data-driven feature?
They call them career guides, and they have thousands of them, each one dedicated to a specific career path.
Career guides. Okay, that sounds kind of, I don't know, a little dry. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good spreadsheet as much as the next person, but how exciting can a career guide really be?
You might be surprised. These aren't your average, run-of-the-mill career guides. We're talking serious research here. They go into incredible detail about all sorts of careers.
Okay, so, what kind of detail are we talking about? Give me an example.
Well, one that caught my eye was Drawing Kiln Operator.
Drawing Kiln Operator.
Yeah. I mean, before today, did you even know that was a job?
Honestly, no, I had no idea.
Right. but they have a whole guide dedicated to it. They cover everything from, like, the skills you need and the tasks you'd perform to potential salary expectations and even the less glamorous aspects of the job.
Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity. So these career guides, they're not just like, here's what a software engineer does. It's more like, here are 10 different types of software engineering jobs, the pros and cons of each, the skills you need to succeed, and what a typical day looks like.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having a roadmap for your career, you know?
Yeah.
They lay it all out there. Potential career paths, salary insights, interview questions you might encounter. It's all about helping you make informed decisions about your future.
That's actually really cool. It's one thing to know you're interested in, like, data science, but it's another thing entirely to understand what a data scientist actually does all day, right?
Absolutely. And having all that information in one place, tailored to specific roles, could be incredibly valuable, especially for someone considering a career change or just trying to figure out their next move.
I can see that. It's like having a crystal ball, but for your career. Okay, so we've got the job board aggregation, the AI resume analysis, the in-depth career guides. But what about the interview? You know, that nerve-wracking final hurdle that can make or break your chances.
They've got you covered. RoleCatcher has a whole section dedicated to interview prep with, get this, over 120,000 practice questions.
120,000. Okay, that's a lot of questions. I mean, how many variations of tell me about your strengths and weaknesses can there possibly be?
Right. It's not just about the quantity, though. It's the specificity that's really impressive. They have questions tailored to specific industries, roles, even skill sets.
So, like, a software engineer isn't going to get the same practice questions as a marketing manager.
Exactly. They've really thought about how to make the prep relevant to your specific situation.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I remember when I was interviewing for my first job out of college, I used those like generic interview prep books, and it felt like none of the questions really applied to the role that I was interested in.
Totally. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in, again, this time taking things up a notch.
Oh, how so?
They have this feature called Copilot AI that actually listens to your answers and provides personalized
Oh,
feedback.
hold on. The AI listens to you like it's judging my every word and inflection?
Pretty much. You basically record yourself answering the practice questions. You can choose to do audio only, or, if you're feeling really brave, you can turn on the video too.
And then what? The AI gives you a grade. Like, you get a C+ on your answer about teamwork.
It's more nuanced than that. It analyzes things like your tone of voice, your word choice, even your body language if you're doing the video analysis. It's like having a virtual interview coach in your pocket, except this coach is an all-seeing AI that misses absolutely nothing.
Okay, so it's not like giving me a pass or fail. It's more about like giving me pointers on how to up my game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, it might pick up on like nervous laughter or those filler words we all use when we're, not sure what to say.
And
Exactly. Or it might suggest ways to like structure your answers more clearly or highlight specific achievements that are relevant to the job. It's all about helping you put your best foot forward.
okay, I can see how that could be incredibly helpful, even if it's a little, intimidating at first. It's like having someone pinpoint those subtle things you might not even be aware you're doing that could be like holding you back.
Right, exactly. It's about bringing those unconscious habits to the surface so you can work on them.
I like it. Okay, so this Copilot AI is starting to sound less like a scary robot and more like a secret weapon for acing interviews. But is it smart enough to like help me tailor my answers to the specific job I'm applying for? I mean, I'm assuming I shouldn't be giving the same spiel to, say, a tech startup as I would to a, Fortune 500 company.
You're absolutely right. It's like you wouldn't wear the same outfit to a job interview and a wedding, right?
Exactly.
So the way RoleCatcher helps you tailor your answers is by connecting it back to their earlier analysis. Remember how we talked about the AI, like dissecting job descriptions and pulling out those key skills and experiences?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they use that same intelligence to help you craft answers that resonate with a specific company and role. So like if the job description emphasizes teamwork, the AI might suggest ways to weave in examples of your teamwork skills into your answers.
So it's not just giving me generic tips, it's actually suggesting how to like connect the dots between my experience and what that particular employer is looking for.
Precisely. It's about making those connections explicit, like showing them that you've done your research and you understand what the role and the company are all about.
Okay, this is all starting to sound very Minority Report, but for job hunting,
Yeah.
which honestly is kind of amazing, but also makes you wonder about the cost. Is all this AI-powered career coaching only available to, like, Silicon Valley millionaires?
That's a good question. And thankfully, the answer is no. They do have a free version.
Okay, so, like, what do you get with the free version?
With the free version, you get access to their job aggregation features, so you can streamline your search, get those personalized alerts. You can also get some basic feedback on your resume, like a quick scan for any glaring issues.
Okay, so it's like dipping your toes in the water, seeing what it's all about. But what about the really good stuff? The Copilot AI with all the bells and whistles. I'm guessing that's where the real magic happens.
You guessed it. Copilot AI is a paid subscription, and that unlocks the full suite of AI-powered features, the in-depth resume analysis, the personalized interview coaching, and full access to those incredibly detailed career guides.
So let's break it down for our listeners who are probably thinking, okay, is this worth my hard-earned cash? When's the free version enough? And when should someone consider, taking the Copilot plunge?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you're just starting your job search and you want to get organized, or if you feel pretty confident in your application materials and your interview skills, the free version might be a great starting point. It's a low-risk way to explore the platform, see if it's a good fit for you.
But like, if you're really serious about getting that competitive edge, or if you feel like you're kind of hitting a wall in your job search, that Copilot AI could be like a game changer.
Exactly. It's like having a personalized career coach and cheerleader in your corner, helping you navigate the sometimes very confusing world of, AI-driven hiring.
This has been so eye-opening. It seems like RoleCatcher is really trying to like demystify the job search process, especially with all the AI integration. It's not about replacing human connection, but rather it's about like using tech to your advantage,
I totally agree. It's all about understanding the rules of the game and playing strategically.
which at the end of the day is what we're all trying to do, right?
Absolutely.
Well, this has been fascinating. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners, we want to hear from you. Have you tried RoleCatcher? What are your thoughts on AI in the job search process? Is it a game changer or just a bunch of hype? Let us know. Until next time, happy job hunting.